of Talking Sports with Wei and
Croney.
I am one of your hosts, Wei, and
This is Croney.
You get me? So this week is a little bit of a slow sports week. Everybody knows it was All-Star weekend, bro. But XFL also had their second week. We're going to also discuss whether or not we believe Dwight Howard, who used to be one of my favorite players and is still one of my favorite players, should go in the Hall of Fame. And since everybody want to have Brady discussions still, even after the NFL season has ended, let's discuss motherfucking Brady. Even though I don't like the man, let's discuss Brady. And what you believe his next move should be. We're going to give you those little insights in our little, our little ones and twos, our little 2 cents on those. But before we hop into any of that, let's just give you an overall view of how we feel about, this little sports weekend that we've been having. How do you feel?
Yeah, it was pretty good. The All-Star game was good. Better than I thought it was going to be. And the second week of the XFL was good as well. I think it was way better than the first.
Okay. I believe the XFL, the first week, the second week was definitely better. We're going to get into all that. We're going to, again, discuss much more. But you see what we're doing here. Why not join us? Roll up, smoke some. Let's get on with the motherfucking show. It's Talking Sports with Wei And Croney. Like you heard him. Chillax. Let's get it. Alright, fresh off of that intro, matter of fact, hold on, let me show y'all something real quick. So I don't never really do this, but your boy, when it got cut up, normally you see the naps in the back.
Yeah.
Normally you see the boy with the hat on, but take that bitch off today. Why? Because I'm here. Now I can fully see my face. First time ever. This is the first time I've ever had my hat off during one of these video vlogs. But back to it. So, as y'all know, the documentation is in the building. XFL week number 2. We have some shit to talk about. Me and him after reviewing week 1, going into week 2. We got some information. We got some deep. We about to get deeper. We about to break down some shit. So, first game, the DC Defenders versus the New York Guardians. The DC Defenders won 27-0. Shut out. I believe after the first couple weeks, this is the first shutout in the XFL.
Yeah. So far,
the first shutout in the XFL. So just to review the game a little bit, the offense for the DC Defenders was very dominant. Was an extremely dominant offense, but it was not only the offense, the defense also stepped up. For the second week in a row, the defense got a pick 6.
They could have did better though.
Go ahead.
They could have did better.
Okay.
They only scored first quarter and the fourth quarter, if I'm not mistaken. Too many field goals.
Too many. He believes it was too many field goals.
They got to finish in the red zone.
Again,
they were only playing New York.
Y'all know I stand up for the DC Defenders, so I gotta go for the squad. But I understand where he's coming from. I definitely understand where he's coming from. I have down here the QB play from Cardale Jones. I believe it was the Houston-New York game where he had gotten sacked, but the referees missed the call. The referee play in the XFL, obviously we need that to step up, but you need to elevate and rise and be able to catch these calls a lot quicker to keep the pace of the game going. But the QB play for Cardale Jones from the DC Defenders, their starting QB, I believe it was completely excellent. I believe DC's offensive line protected him. I think that's one of the best O-lines in the XFL right now. Again, that's my personal take. I believe that's one of the best O-lines in the XFL at this very moment. I believe the two receivers, Rocket Ross and Eli Rogers. Eli Rogers, if you don't know, was formerly from the Pittsburgh Steelers. He played with them for like 3 seasons. But he's in the XFL now. Again, two dominant wide receivers that helped Cardale Jones. On the opposite side, the New York Guardians, I feel, just completely dropped the ball. Like they completely dropped the ball. They laid up a goose egg. The quarterback Matt McGloin had some very interesting words talking about he felt that they needed to completely strip the offense completely. But as soon as he said that, the very next play he threw a pick six. The very next play he threw a pick six. So it just kind of gets me like, there you go, bro. It just kind of gets me like, this is sad. This is what you shouldn't be getting in the first couple of weeks of the XFL. Matt McGloin, you were from, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, Matt McGloin played on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He was down there in Tampa Bay. Matt McGloin had his shot at the NFL. He is 30 years old at this point in time. And yeah, he's just on the back end of his career, and I don't believe he's going to get another shot in the NFL, especially with the way that he first talked about his team, called out his coach. I just feel like Matt McGloin may have some sort of a superiority complex going into the XFL, seeing that he did play in the NFL, but you got booted out the NFL.
But when you say a shot at the NFL, are you telling me that you think
a few players
in the XFL
I definitely believe
will get a chance?
Yes, and we're going to actually get into a couple. As a matter of fact, one of those, I believe Eli Rogers deserves another shot in the NFL. I believe Cardale Jones has showed that at least at the very bare minimum, he's a decent little backup, and he could definitely back up a QB in the NFL. And then again, some of the offensive linemen on the DC Defenders, I believe, will shot. But again, nobody I particularly name at this time. I'm not really good, with names. I'm still getting the roster together. But again, that's just my opinion on the first game, the DC Defenders versus the New York Guardians. What you have to say, bro?
I agree with some. Like New York, it was a letdown, a huge letdown. But like I said at the beginning of the week, last week, it was the first week, so we really didn't know how people were really going to play.
You're right.
So the QB for New York showed us a decent game and a terrible game. So I guess maybe the third week it shows exactly what he got to offer.
You said the QB for DC?
Nah, for New York.
Oh, Matt McGloin. Again, from week one, if I may just briefly interject, from week one, I noticed something was off with Matt McGloin. That's actually one of the questions coming out of this complete segment that I do have. But again, we'll get to that when time comes. But continue.
All right. Well, like I said, so I do agree with everything you said. Besides that O-line for DC, man.
Okay, continue. What you got to say about our O-line?
My take on that is the quarterback play is saving that offense because of the O-line. Those legs of his is great.
So not because of the O-line, but in spite of the O-line.
Pretty much, like he's running for his life, man. He's just really good at doing it. Really good at doing it. So that's what's saving them. But they need to be able to. They need better red zone play. They need to score. Like I said, they only scored in the first quarter and the fourth quarter, but they kept making it downfield, but seemed to get stopped every time they got down there. So they need to work on that.
But that's also, I believe, because remember last week I said I believe the New York Guardians have a balanced team, and I feel like they have very decent defensive play, and I feel like
I can't say that because they made it downfield. Some plays they got good field position off of punts and kickoffs, but they still got down there. So
Still did.
I mean,
right.
They still got points.
You're right.
So
Drop 27 of them.
So can't say too much about New York's defense, but
So overall, what did you think of the first game of as a whole? Not just based on the score, but as a whole. What did you think of the first game of week 2?
It wasn't a joy to watch because it wasn't really competitive. It was a shutout. We need better play from New York.
I got you. So the next game we're going to talk about, because there's one game in particular I'm going to say that as the last game because of how good it actually was. But the next game that we're going to discuss is actually Seattle versus Tampa Bay. I was going to do Dallas versus the LA Wildcats next, but the Seattle Battlehawks versus the Tampa Bay Vipers. It was 17 Seattle versus 9 Tampa Bay. Seattle won. A couple of things that I do want to put in here. Tampa Bay has an excellent overall team, and because it's the second week, I've been able to get a better view of the team. I feel, and again, I believe that no, it wasn't Aaron Murray. Aaron Murray for the Tampa Bay Vipers in week 1 did not do very well. Flowers, which was one of the backups for Aaron Murray on Tampa Bay, I believe he did not particularly show up. I believe the other one was Cornelius. Like Tampa Bay kept rotating QBs. They kept rotating QBs. And I feel like Tampa Bay's QB play was not particularly the best. Like, I feel like out of every team in the XFL so far, Tampa Bay by far has the worst QB play. Tampa Bay by far has the worst QB play. I believe that Tampa Bay's defense is actually pretty good, but in order for the defense to show how good they are, they need the offense to be able to put up points. It's very hard, I believe, for any team playing football, whether that's NFL or XFL, to consistently stop a team to 9 points or like single-digit points every single week. I don't think the best NFL defense of all time had an average of 7 points a week. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Also, I feel like the QB play on the Seattle side was also very off. I believe that the defense helped. I believe the running backs helped. As a matter of fact, no, that's not this particular game. That's actually the next one that we're going to cover. But there was just, like I said, there was just some errors on both sides when it comes to the main position, like you said last week. The main position that you need, my booklet and my notes almost failed. Which, like you said last week, the QB play is the center of the football team. And if you do not have good QB play, you do not have a good team. You can't do much. You can have decent QB play as long as the other aspects, primarily your defense, can help. I don't feel like...
If you got defense in the running game, you can go pretty far.
I don't believe Seattle's defense is up to par. I just feel like they got lucky this week because of Tampa Bay's bad QB play. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Tampa Bay, through 2 weeks, here's a couple more things. And I don't mean to harp on Tampa Bay and get on their ass as much as I do, but I have to. Tampa Bay, first off, Mark Trestman. If you recognize that name, Mark Trestman, at one point in time, was the head coach of the Chicago Bears. I believe around the time of Jay Cutler. Mark Trestman was also a head coach in the Canadian Football League. This was his shot to show people that, like, as far as the American setting, he can actually do good work. Mark Trestman has this is 0-2. The Vipers are 0-2 in the XFL.
What did I tell you last week?
I gotta refresh my mind.
They were going to be the bottom team of the XFL.
Again, I didn't disagree with you. I thought that may have been like a little bit higher up, but damn. In the red zone, you were talking about red zone issues, right? He just spoke on red zone issues when it came to the DC Defenders, to my boys. But he was talking about red zone issues with Tampa Bay, the red zone issues through 2 weeks, 6 trips to the red zone, 0 touchdowns. I have no more to say.
Well, I didn't actually get a chance to catch this game. I caught a little bit of the highlights. My take on Tampa Bay is going to stay the same. I mean, you just proved my point.
Broke it down.
I saw that. Broke it down. I saw that first week. Hopefully, as a team, they proved me wrong, but I don't see it. But
y'all, again, we'll get there. We'll get there to the overall arc in question.
But Seattle, my take on how they looked, decent enough to beat Tampa Bay, but it was Tampa Bay. I need to see more.
And I said, by the way, really quick, my fault. I said Seattle Battlehawks. I apologize. It is the Seattle Dragons. I'm looking in the future because you go.
It's a new league.
It's a new league. It's the Seattle Dragons. Again, like I said, I like Seattle defense. QB.
So yeah, the QB play got to step up. It got to. Like,
I don't get it.
You are the captain of the team. You have to be
the face.
Best player. You have to be the best player.
You see this like on any given Monday, not any given Sunday, on any given Monday, whenever we record these, it be either one of us be having to step up and you know be that QB for the team. Like you got me. You got to.
Well, yeah, that's my take. Same old Tampa Bay.
Now, next up, we have the Dallas Renegades versus the Los Angeles Wildcats. Dallas won 25-18. Again, coming out of this particular game, one of the standouts. Oh my goodness!
Let me.
You want to hop on this one first?
I gotta hop on this one first.
Go ahead, hop on this one because I have breakdowns.
This man here decided to maybe go towards LA for one of his teams to rock with, as you would say.
You know, like an East-West thing. I was voting DC versus LA in the XFL championship.
Most, if not all, of this game was just them trading turnovers, back and forth.
Fair assessment.
That's all I saw. They have to step it up. Because from what it looks like to me, it's going to end up being DC and Houston for now, but we'll get into that later. Yeah, that's all I saw. Dallas QB stepped it up towards the end of the game.
Definitely did. Definitely did. Okay, good job. I see you, bro.
For them to pull it off. I liked it. I can't complain about any other running back play in the league. I just got to throw that out there. It seems like the running backs are trying to prove something in the league. They run really
especially this game. Especially this game.
That's why I brought it up right now. You see what I'm saying? Like I'm loving that. The defense, only 2 teams right now, maybe 3 got defense. They could get them to the end of the season, but like I said, the running game is doing pretty good. So yeah, good job, Dallas. Just don't stick with LA. Don't listen to this guy. But I just want to get my take out first because it wasn't that long.
No, you're fine. You're
great
fine.
quarterback play at the end of the game, but the turnovers got to turn them down.
So, Landry Jones from Alabama, I believe. Landry Jones went to another Steelers player, former Steelers player anyway. The beginning of the game, like he said, was not it. Towards the end, though, you and Bob Stoops, and again, if I remember Bob Stoops correctly, he was from Oklahoma. Don't quote me on that one. I believe that's where Bob Stoops came from. But yeah, like that combo right there, it just was what was it? Like I appreciated the QB. Like I'm starting to see things form. Like narratives being able to form in the XFL. Like you got a nice QB quarterback relationship with Bob Stoops and Landry Jones, and Landry Jones balled out at the end of the game. He did his damn thing. What I will say also though, speaking of QB play, Josh Johnson, the official starting quarterback for the LA Wildcats, who was supposed to start in week 1, but was out with an injury. He didn't have the best showing. He didn't have the best showing at all, but somebody damn near made him look good. And this is my standout player of the week, which we're going to start doing. My standout player of the week, Nelson Spruce of the Los Angeles Wildcats. Through the first 2 games, he has 191 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns. This week in particular, he scored 2 touchdowns off of 103 yards receiving. Nelson Spruce definitely might be one of those getting that shot back in the NFL.
I don't see that happening for anybody.
I
don't see that happening.
With Dallas. Running back play. Cameron Artis-Payne, 2 TDs. The running backs of Dallas in this game had a combined 20 carries for 141 yards. Last week, they had 8 carries for about 53 yards. So can we say that Dallas is a running team? Like Dallas wins on the back of their running game? I feel like that might be a fair assessment.
What's the 3rd game?
Wait till the 3rd game. Like again, you gotta wait for these trends to form before you can truly speak on them. But yeah, like I quite enjoyed. I really did enjoy this game, especially when I started noticing, like, oh shit, like Dallas got a running game. Like Dallas is out here. Oh,
good 2nd week, man.
Second week. I'm impressed. I am. Maybe y'all can call me easy to impress. I don't fucking know, but I'm impressed. I definitely am. The final game of the XFL 2nd week. I'm gonna let him start this off. But I just want to give y'all the score. Houston 28, St. Louis 24. In the best game of week 2. Take off.
I might have to go with you on that. I didn't even think of that. That might
Best
be
game
the
of
best
week.
game. That might be.
When the XFL was at its 100% best and firing on all cylinders, this is what the XFL looks like. And that was amazing football.
Well, I'm just going to say, same on me. The defense, they did their job the first half for Houston.
That's you.
Same old shit, different Sunday, right? Until
Teamu, they QB.
I can't even say QB. They got ran over 3rd quarter. 3rd quarter, Houston's defensive line got ran over. The running back made it to that secondary so many times. They can't have that throughout the season, man. They gotta pick that up. Like just like you said, they run into Dallas. They can have problems. But yeah. So like I said,
I like what you did there. Okay, I like what you did there. I see you. You gonna leave me hanging? You're not gonna pound it?
Sorry.
I see what you did there. Okay.
But look at this. Throw me off track, bro.
I'm sorry. I like that. I like that tape.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, 3rd quarter. But they pulled it out in the second half. They ended up pulling it out in the second half, scoring enough points, obviously. But QB play. I'm talking about player of the week.
Boy.
You're talking about player of the week.
His player of the week, okay. so Ronnie
Walker is a beast.
Ronnie's player of the week is PJ Walker.
Yes,
okay.
He's a beast.
Okay.
You say all around team, and I just see them. That's the team that pops up in my head when I think of just all around team. I don't see nobody stopping them, but it could happen if they don't fix the defensive line because they got ran over. Okay. But yeah, that's my take.
Okay. The QB play in this game was the best two. Was the best two QBs. Like the best two. This was the best fucking matchup so far of the whole. Like this was the best matchup. PJ Walker, like he said again, I see why he gave him his XFL Player of the Week. But he had 7 touchdowns by himself over the first 2 games. 7 touchdowns. That ties the DC Defenders as a whole. Think about that. PJ Walker by himself has tied the DC Defenders as a whole. That's fucking crazy. I see a QB wide receiver matchup starting to form between Cam Phillips and PJ Walker. When I say PJ Walker was 3 TDs, 3, are you fucking kidding me? He that sidearm, it was just like, what the fuck? Like, it was amazing. It was absolutely fucking amazing. I can't.
MVP, man. I start the voting now.
If we started the voting now, damn near PJ Walker. PJ Walker would be the MVP because he was flowing. Like he was flowing. But on the flip side, St. Louis again, a running game. Matt Jones, Jordan Ta'amu, the QB for St. Louis, a movable QB. He was running through and using his legs. Like also, again,
he needs to fix his slides though.
He needs to fix his slides, and he also needs to be more accurate. But since we're talking about accuracy of the QBs, right? That's enough about the XFL for right now. Well, not enough about the XFL, but enough about the games. The question of the week for the XFL is, do you believe the QB play is enough to sustain this league?
I need to get to the 3rd, 4th week first.
What, as far as what you've seen through the first 2 games, though? Or the first...
It's hard to... So I can't say I've seen enough because I've seen some that's just beastie, and then I see some that's just really that's just backup quarterback worthy. So
maybe even 3rd string.
Maybe, yeah. You know what? Yeah, that's even better.
Maybe even 3rd string.
3rd string.
Maybe
he could help out the practice squad type shit, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Just saying. So, no, from these 2 weeks, no.
You don't believe it's enough? Again, I agree. I believe that is not enough to sustain the XFL. Here's the thing, right? Besides Cardale Jones, Ta'amu, and PJ Walker, those are the 3 best QBs right now in the XFL. So you're telling me 3 of the 8 starting QBs, like only 3 have had decent enough showings to be able to be standouts? Mm-hmm. Like, that's crazy. And I understand, like, but the NFL, you can't really compare that because it's 32 teams. You're going to have ass QBs, like, or you're going to have, some form of a bad QB somewhere in
But each one of those starting QBs can do damage in the XFL.
You would think so. I'm
pretty sure, though.
Okay. I think there might be a couple of NFL QBs. Definitely no one near the top and nowhere near the middle. Somewhere near the bottom of the league.
The starters is what I said.
I know what you said, and that's what I'm saying. I feel like maybe like the worst 5 QBs in the NFL might be able to go to the XFL and still not be able to make it. Personal opinion here. But yeah, like I feel like the QB play needs to definitely step up. One of the stats that I saw was the average XFL passer percentage was about 62% compared to NFL 65%. The average, catch receiving yards was like about 5.3 to an NFL 7.6. You get what I mean? Like the XFL play obviously is not comparing to the NFL, but I feel like there definitely could be some standouts. As a matter of fact, some of the people I feel that could transfer over to the NFL from the XFL. Like I said, I believe PJ Walker could be a decent backup. If not, eventually maybe be behind a good offensive line, be a starting QB. Nelson Spruce, I feel like he should get another shot as a wide receiver. I feel like Cam Phillips could get another shot in the NFL. I feel like a couple of wide receivers from the DC Guardians could. I feel like it's mainly receivers.
But you want to know, this is why I can't agree with you with players going to the NFL, especially offensive players. And
this is a debate show.
And quarterbacks, yeah. So I can't agree with you with that, regardless if they show or not, because the defensive. You asking me about quarterbacks, but the defensive play hasn't been good enough for the XFL.
Ooh. So you don't feel like any defensive play has been
maybe 1 or 2 teams got that. You know what I'm saying? The defensive play, like the quarterbacks aren't seeing NFL type defense, even defensive effort. Like some of those quarterbacks wouldn't have got away from some of those tackles.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? It's just different scenarios I could throw out, but yeah. So nah, cause the defense, man. So no, I don't think anybody in this league would be able to make it to the NFL. At least off of just this season. Okay. Like if it continues to go on and
it gets better.
Yeah, because more if it's still a success, more and better people are going to want to play for the XFL. So
by the way,
we'll have no choice but to get better. True. If it just continues to go on. So.
By the way, support your local XFL team. If you have the opportunity to go to an XFL game, please support your teams. The only team to sustain any type of attendance after week 1 was the Seattle Dragons. Every other team's attendance dipped after the first week. So if you are near an XFL team and you have the opportunity to go, I would say please support your local XFL team because more football is never bad. More football is never bad, and we need something to carry us over from when the NFL ends to when the NFL begins.
Especially when it's entertaining. It is entertaining.
And it's very entertaining. So support your local XFL team. But let me see here. The next thing that we're going to go ahead and cover is a very interesting question. Where do you feel Tom Brady should go? Or what do you feel like Tom Brady's next move should do? So, we'll be right back here on Talking Sports with Wei And Croney.
All right, and coming from talking about the XFL second week.
Week 2.
Week 2. We get into the conversation on where we think Brady should end up. Now, they've been given, 8 different teams where he could be?
Yeah, we went on CBS in order to see where the what they believe the 8 teams Tom Brady should go to kind of get an idea or formulate. Seeing that again, there's 32 teams in the NFL. It's a lot of NFL to look up team on team, but we with the help of CBS, we're able to kind of give you all a better estimation of.
Well, let's get into it.
So, you want to jump it off?
Yeah, I got it.
Okay.
So, the number 1 team is Tampa Bay.
Okay.
I kind of get the case, but I'm pretty sure Tom Brady wants to win and win now. He only has a year, maybe 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I figured he would want to be with a team.
Where do you feel like he should go, though?
Well, I feel like he should
go. Based on the information that we were able to gather from again, CBS, quote our sources, where do you feel like he should go?
The best team would be the Chargers, man.
Or what are your top 3 teams? Matter of fact, give me your top 3.
I don't even have 3 teams because, first of all, it's young quarterbacks out here that still have chances to improve. And most teams are not going to want Tom Brady just for 1 year unless it's a team that doesn't have a young quarterback they already put money into or plan on putting money into.
They could pull a Toronto and get him for a year to try to win the Super Bowl.
This ain't the NBA, though, bro.
They could try to pull a Toronto.
You know what I'm saying? This ain't the NBA. So, and plus he wants to be on a team that could
compete for a Super Bowl.
Yeah. So it would have to be the Chargers, man. I don't see him going to. Like I said, they got 8 different teams on here. They got the Colts. They got Tampa Bay. They got. They've been talking about the Cowboys. I would not get rid of Prescott. You know what I'm saying? For Brady for a year or 2, and I got this guy who's been playing better than Brady in the last 2 years. So, like, why would I do that? It's stupid. So, yeah, the Chargers would be the best fit. You know what I'm saying? They're talking about, you know what I'm saying, Antonio Brown got a chance of coming back. Shit, they can go get him. You know, they want to play with Brady. You know what I'm saying? And they will be a good team. What's your take on it?
Well, I'm going to say it like this. After perusing the information, I believe I'm gonna give you my top 3 because I actually do have a top 3. I don't have a definitive, but in my top 3, in no particular order, I have the Los Angeles Chargers, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You'll see why in a second, and then the last one, I'll say it like this. Matter of fact, I'll do 4 because 4 technically is a cop out because it's the Pats. Like, just give you a case of just in case why it should stay. Hear me out. So first, we're just gonna go Chargers go. We're gonna talk about the Chargers. 52 mil, and I'll round it up. 52 mil in cap room. Top weapons he would have there is the wide receiver combination of Keenan Allen and Mike Williams. 2 phenomenal wide receivers in the NFL. Also, it would be a good business move seeing that the Chargers are now in Los Angeles. You know, Tom Brady works with TB12. I think it's like a supplement or a vitamin or like the health TB12 that Tom Brady, the company. So he could push TB12 even more in the Los Angeles market. That's like a business move for Tom Brady. I feel like, yeah, the Chargers would make sense. Seeing also, as we discussed last week, they no longer have Phillip Rivers. You got you a perfect slot. And like I said, 52 mil to work with. Next, the reason why I feel like he should stay with the Pats. As a matter of fact, no, I'm sorry, I'm gonna say that for last. I jumped out of order. I apologize. The next team I feel like he should go to possibly is the Tennessee Titans. 48 mil in cap room. Top weapons. You got Adam Humphries, Derrick Henry, and AJ Brown.
So tell me why would the Titans get rid of, if I'm not mistaken,
Mariota
for Brady?
Because they benched Mariota last year for Ryan Tannehill. Mariota lost his third spot to Ryan Tannehill. That was they started QB.
Okay, but still, they still made it further than the Pats in the playoffs, right? With that quarterback, right? Yeah, I'm right.
But it wasn't because of
they beat.
It wasn't because of Ryan Tannehill though. It was because of Derrick.
He did what he had to do.
It was because of Derrick Henry.
He had the good enough play to do that.
Ryan Tannehill.
So what they gonna do with Brady?
Ryan Tannehill has more to prove.
What they gonna do with Brady, bro? What do they need Brady for?
If Ryan Tannehill can get them to the AFC Championship game, Brady can win them a Super Bowl. Plain and simple. If Ryan Tannehill can get them into the AFC Championship game,
And then what
Brady
they
can win them
gonna
a
do?
Super
What
Bowl.
they gonna do after this year's over or the year after?
I told you, did I just say Raptors mentality? 1 year chip and go.
Yeah, they ain't gonna have shit.
1 year chip and go.
Yeah, he gone.
And then you still got Ryan
You
Tannehill.
got that.
Ryan Tannehill's they backup. You still got Ryan Tannehill or Marcus
You know,
Mariota.
is he
You
like I
still.
said, we need to know free agency, man. We need to know who actually free this year because
And
if he free, he gone. Motherfucker, somebody gonna pick him. He's gone.
Who, Henry or Brady?
No,
Because Henry's
I'm
a free agent
not
too.
talking about Henry. I'm talking about what they gonna do about quarterback.
Again,
What they gonna do about quarterback after Brady?
he's on his Stephen A again. Stephen A, I need you to listen to me. What I'm telling you is, if they can keep either Tannehill or they can keep Mariota to back up Brady, or for the fuck of it, both. Which is a very hard sell. Keep both of them, especially with 48.
All right, you think they're gonna be able to keep both of them?
Fuck no, especially with 48 million cap room, and they have to re-sign Derrick Henry.
You gotta think long term.
I'm thinking long term, and what I'm saying
Not
is
with Brady, you not.
Brady is to get the chip, and then Ryan Tannehill and Mariota comes in next year.
Guarantee he gonna be there.
What, Brady?
No, Tannehill.
Yes, Tannehill's contract is there.
That's what I was saying. We need to know
Yes,
contracts.
yes. Tannehill's contract is there. Like Tannehill is on contract with Tennessee. So yes, Tannehill is there, and I believe actually Mariota's there too. I believe both of those are still locked in the contract. The only big thing with Tennessee right now is the free agency of Derrick Henry and whether or not he's going to resign with Tennessee.
They need to get their defense to be a little better.
Derrick Henry is a star player. He's the best. He's the best running back in the league. They need to focus on signing Derrick Henry and hopefully get Brady. And then, as a matter of fact, I actually do have 4 teams that I think that he can go to, and then the Pats I'll explain fifth. And then another one is the 49ers. It's a slight shot. It's slight. I'm not saying he will go to the 49ers. I am saying there's a percentage of a chance. Listen to this story. Tom Brady grew up in the Bay, grew up watching the 49ers. Tom Brady always wanted to play for the 49ers, always wanted to win a Super Bowl for the 49ers. If the 49ers with the weapons like George Kittle, Samuels, Mostert, like if with these weapons that were again able to get them to the Super Bowl last year with a lackluster Jimmy G. Jimmy G won games, but when it came down to those final moments when you needed to be clutch and when you needed to be the step up captain QB of your team, Jimmy G wasn't there.
I mean, he was one play away from winning it really though, because
they dropped 21 points in 15 minutes.
That overthrow was the game. That overthrow.
The interception was the game.
Nah, if he would have got that overthrow, if he would have connected on that throw, bro, they would have won the chip. So
here's my case for Tom Brady to 49ers though. They have cap. They have that 20 million cap. They have a buyout for Jimmy G this year. They can get him out of his contract. That takes about 22 mil off of the cap, or like off their salary books will add to the cap, which we're looking at about 42 million cap, not too far behind the Tennessee Titans, who I was also able to make a pretty damn good case for. Yeah, and then you put Brady in to slide him in for Jimmy G. Tom Brady comes home. Tom Brady can win the 49ers another chip and be up there with Joe Montana and Steve Young as a 49ers QB to win a chip. What? It's a storybook. Like it's like written damn near. Like you could write that type of shit.
LeBron.
I'm telling you, if you could write it. Ring number 7. I don't even like Brady, but that would be crazy. And then another team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Once again, hear me out.
That's an argument.
For no more than 3 excellent good reasons. The cap room, 85 mil. You could give Brady his money and still have money left over to continue to add pieces around Brady.
But what pieces?
Again, I believe they need a better O-line. I believe they need help in their defensive line. But again, I'm not a huge Tampa Bay fan, so I can't give you the specifics of what
They do a lot of that shit.
But also Tampa Bay really does have. They have Mike Evans, they have Godwin, and they have Howard. Again, 3 excellent receivers. And then they have a top 5 defense. You got the defense there. Brady and these offensive weapons can put up money. And then after, like I said, after you pay Brady, you would still have money left over. So you could add, so you can even add offensive lineman pieces. They would definitely be a contender. They would definitely be a contender. They would definitely. I believe Tampa Bay would definitely.
So you're gonna tell me a team is already nowhere near being a contender? Hold on. Could just add Tom Brady, and then throw some money around and pick some other players that just gets to this team, and then be a contender and be able to make a run to the playoffs, the Super Bowl, and win the Super Bowl.
Jameis Winston. Jameis Winston's the problem in Tampa Bay. My belief is Jameis Winston's the problem in Tampa Bay. I love a black QB. I enjoy black QBs in the NFL. I want there to be more black QBs in the NFL. I don't want Jameis Winston to lose his job, but what I'm saying is Tampa Bay's downfall right now, I believe, is Jameis Winston.
So Tom Brady will make them a contender regardless.
Yes. Just like we was talking, just like we was talking about in the XFL with the last segment, QB play.
But
I believe QB play is the same in the NFL. I believe that you need good QB play,
that's true,
or at least decent QB play.
But that QB play ain't gonna elevate that team all the way to the Super Bowl.
Tom Brady dropping bombs to Mike Evans and OJ Howard. What? Did you see what he did when he had Moss, Welker, and Gronkowski? He went 16-0. Mike Evans, Godwin, and Howard.
They not them though. They not.
I'm not saying Mike Evans at all is Randy Moss. I'm not saying no disrespect. I'm not saying Mike Evans.
Take, though.
I'm not saying Mike Evans at all is Randy Moss. But what I'm saying is, as far as it could be a Tampa Bay version, it could but I believe that it could be enough.
So why the Pats?
The Pats. Don't do that. Look, right. Here's the Pats. Here's a couple of things. They have $44 million cap room, which would mean that they really can't do too much after they sign Brady. But they still have Edelman. They got Mohamed Sanu. They got James White. It's a familiar place for Tom Brady. He's played there his whole career. He knows the system. He knows Belichick. He knows what he's doing when he gets there. The only real issue with him going back to the Pats is salary cap issues. That's really it. Salary cap issues. And it also pushes the Pats back, I believe, another year, unless they decide to get a QB in the upcoming draft. I believe it pushes the Pats back another year as far as preparing for life after Brady. Because when Brady leaves the Pats, like at this particular point in time, I don't see nobody stepping up in the QB position to really take that mantle. Unless, again, the Patriots go out and sign somebody in free agency or draft somebody. But, which would be interesting, actually. That would actually be interesting to see Belichick after, 20? Going on 20 years? Seeing Belichick with like a brand new, going with like a brand new QB, that would be a very interesting thing to see. This next,
fix the argument on who needed who, right?
Yeah, this next NFL season is gonna actually be dope.
Well, but I think the Pats will be the best decision for him to make. But after the report that came out today about this tight end saying that they really don't want Brady.
Ooh.
It's it changes things, right?
Yeah, I'm saying that like kind of could hit a little bit personal because he didn't gave y'all his career. Like he gave y'all his career, bro. But
so like I said, it makes things difficult, like you said. So I mean,
it does. It definitely makes things difficult. It was a couple more down here, but I don't feel like they really factor in anywhere. But take us to the ad break.
Well, next is what NBA All-Star Weekend.
Yes.
I'm ready to get into that.
We can talk about All-Star Weekend, but before that, we're going to talk about should Dwight Howard make the Hall of Fame. Got some heat. So we'll be back after a word from our sponsor, the Anchor app. How's everybody doing? It's your boy Wei, host of the Way's World podcast.
And your girl Shani the Shooter, co-host of the Way's World podcast.
You can catch the Way's World podcast every Monday through Wednesday by at least 3 p.m. on one of those days on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, everywhere that you get your local podcasts, and now
YouTube. Yeah.
We want to say thank you all for listening to the Way's World podcast and stay tuned for much more because officially every episode from season 2 of the Way's World podcast and every episode of season 2 of the Way's World Drunkcast will now be on YouTube. So once again, thank you all so much for listening and stay tuned. Coming off that ad break that was transitioned into fantastically by Mr. Croney.
Well, thank you.
The next thing is, should Dwight Howard be in the Hall of Fame? Last week, we asked if Phillip Rivers retired. This week, should Dwight Howard be in the Hall of Fame? This is the debate topic of the week. I feel like I know what he's going to say. I might not. I just feel like it. But first off, we're going to give you our sides before we go into our arguments. I believe that Dwight Howard should be in the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
For you?
Nah, I'm gonna let you do your thing.
See, he's leaving with anticipation before he gets his take, and it's like I'm trying to figure out what's going on in his mind. So first things first. Dwight Howard, #1 overall pick to the Orlando Magic, 8-time All-NBA, 8-time All-Star, 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, 5-time All-NBA Defensive Team, 2-time block leader, 5-time rebound leader. Once, like I said last week with Phillip Rivers, if we go based off of the stats, if we go based off of how good they were in their primes, I believe Dwight Howard makes a case for the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
He makes a case for the Hall of Fame. Picture this. Me, a young Wei, in 2009, my freshman year of high school, watching the NBA playoffs, or not even the playoff, but watching the season, right? And I'm seeing this big 7-footer dunking on everybody and snatching the league soul. Out here winning dunk contests and shit. I'm like, who is this? Superman. This generation Superman. We're not trying to get into it with you, Shaq. We're not trying to do that. Okay?
I said he broke rims and backboards.
Yeah, we're not trying to get into it with you, Shaq. Okay, but this generation Superman out here dominating the league, and as a big man, like I've always enjoyed like bigger players like Hakeem Olajuwon, Scottie Pippen. Hakeem was like 7 foot, Scottie Pippen was like 6'8". I'm like 6'2", so I've always enjoyed big man play. But Dwight Howard eventually, like I said, became my favorite player in the league around this time. He took the Orlando Magic, which was a team built around him, to the NBA Finals.
LeBron.
Beat LeBron.
Yes.
Even with one of LeBron's best game winners of all time, by the way, we cannot leave that out, because that was one of LeBron's best game winners of all time. I was thoroughly pissed off that game, but
it's the king. All right.
But to go up against Kobe Bean, may he rest in peace, got trounced 4-1, but he was able to take a team with not really another star, because Rashard Lewis started to wane literally after that season, and so did Hedo Turkoglu. Like, they really weren't the same after that season. But
there was some Hoopers though, and Nelson though.
Yeah, they were.
Squad.
They were. And the thing about that finals that always to this day will piss me off is we had this we had Skip Tamalu. I believe his name was Rayford Austin. But he took over as the starting point guard for Jameer Nelson because Jameer Nelson was hurt.
Yeah.
they basically tried to bring Jameer, because that was Jameer Nelson's only All-Star season too, by the way. He was an All-Star that season. Hooping. They brought him back from injury into the finals to try to assist and to try to help Dwight Howard against Kobe and the Lakers when I think it was like it was up 2-1. Like the Lakers were up 2-1. I can't recall. But again, I believe the Lakers was up 2-1 and they tried to bring Jameer Nelson back instead of letting Ray Frost to just play and continue to ball the way he had been balling up into that point. But that's one of my criticisms of that particular finals. But again, Kobe won. Dwight Howard stayed with the Magic a few more years after that. The whole Van Gundy thing happened. I get that. The Lakers situation with his back, that happened. I get that. He's been able to bounce. He's been bouncing from team to team. I believe this year, if he gets him a championship, if the Lakers win the chip this year, then I believe that a championship would 100% solidify his case into the Hall of Fame. Right now, I believe he's at 95%. But if he gets a chip, I believe that will push him all the way to 100. But yeah, I believe Dwight Howard definitely belongs in the Hall of Fame.
Oh, you ready for me then?
Yeah, it's on you. I gave you a smooth 5, almost 6 minutes apiece.
Yeah, I'm not gonna give you about 6 minutes, but I agree. I think he definitely should be into the Hall of Fame.
Okay.
It's freaking Dwight Howard and Superman. You know what I'm saying? I mean, again, my thing is he beat LeBron and made it to the finals. You know what I'm saying? And that ain't easy.
With a team built around him.
He pretty much delivered until he made it to the Lakers the first time. So, like you said, 8 All-Star games, defensive player, 3 years? And if I'm not mistaken, it was 3 years in a row?
I believe so. Maybe a year in between.
At least a year in between after the first 2.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, things that big men are doing now, like when it comes to being defensive players, is it like Gobert and how Anthony Conner this year and blocking the ball, Dwight done that already.
Yeah, been there, done that.
Been there, done that.
Dwight Howard, 2-time block leader, 5-time rebound leader.
Been there, done that. So yes, I definitely think he should be. And I was gonna say the exact same thing. You said it for me. If he get a ring this year and just continue to play how he is now, there's no question. Even though it's already no question if you ask me, but I agree with you. Yes, he should be in the Hall of Fame.
Definitely believe he should be in the Hall of Fame. Okay. Well, again, I was anticipating him to say no.
I know he was.
Especially off of that after the Phillip Rivers take. I was like, he just gonna disagree.
Yes, he gonna destroy the White House.
He's just gonna cut him up. It's fine. It's fine.
I know that's what you. I knew that's what you were thinking.
But next up, he's ready. Y'all are ready. We gonna cover the motherfucking All-Star game that was in Chi-Town.
I'm on Dwight's head, bro.
He's about to see. I knew some slander about Dwight was gonna come along with this podcast, but this is Talking Sports with Wei And Croney. We'll be right back with you. Back here on Talking Sports with Wei And Croney. Next up is the All-Star weekend. All-Star break.
All-Star break.
Definitely All-Star break. Let me get this together. For y'all that's not in TV land, y'all can't see what I just did. I just had to fix the camera a little bit because it was like looking very, very off to me. It still kind of look off, but I feel like that's work with it. So first things first, skills challenge.
So we just skipping the
celebrity game.
Skills. Our celebrity game and the.
I'm gonna say I didn't
say versus the world.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I didn't really watch the rookie game and I didn't watch the celebrity game. I'm gonna say if you got some takes on it or if you watched it, then by all means.
I mean, the celebrity game wasn't really nothing, and USA versus the world, it was alright. It was cool. I didn't watch it all from beginning to end, but I saw them out there hooping and stuff. It was pretty good. But skills challenge, unexpected. But I guess it just shows us how different the league is now.
I feel like the biggest takeaway is that the big man eliminated all the guards.
That's what I'm saying. The league is totally different. Like, we got big men out here that can pass and do other stuff.
And handle that ball.
Yeah, so that was my take on it. I didn't expect it. But it was a good challenge, though.
Were you surprised by the winner?
Yeah, definitely surprised.
As far as the skills that were shown,
You see that trade.
as far as the skills that were shown on during the skills challenge, or what was your overall thought as far as the competition goes? Like, you feel like it was a good competition?
A little more effort, maybe, because was Dwayne Wade just who said it? When they hit those corners during the crossover part, they need to hit them harder, man. Just casually, just chilling.
It was being like today's.
You know what I'm saying? So, other than that, though, it was cool.
Again, my biggest takeaway from the skills challenge was that the big men eliminated all the guards. The past 3 winners, I believe 2 of them were big men. So, again,
they've been done before. Yeah, big men won before.
Definitely. I believe Kristaps Porzingis won 1 year, actually.
Yep.
Just a skills challenge. I forgot who I picked last week. I think I may have picked Tatum to.
Nah, you didn't pick Tatum. You picked I'll do it from the Bucks.
From the Bucks. It's Chris Middleton. I picked Chris Middleton.
Yeah.
I expected Middleton to do better. I didn't expect him to get eliminated. He actually did almost win his. It's just I believe he was up against Bam.
Almost doesn't count.
Yeah, it doesn't. Bam was dropping threes. Bam was dropping good buckets. Bam was out here dropping good buckets. So shout out to Bam. In the 3-point contest,
that was good.
Was definitely
that
good.
Was good.
Buddy Hield was the winner. I think we both picked Dame to win, but
he wasn't in there. Booker did.
Yeah, Booker
extremely well.
Booker showed up. Booker definitely showed up. Buddy Hield won off of literally a last-second 3-pointer, money ball.
Yeah.
So
but he hit both of the new shots though. He hit both of them.
Definitely did.
Both of them. Only person that hit both of them.
No, Devin Booker was the first person.
Who hit one?
No, he hit both of them.
When did he hit both of them? I don't remember that.
His first rec.
Damn.
His first time around, he literally dropped.
I know because I remember him hitting the right one twice, but
he hit the left one once and the right one twice.
That's crazy.
But again, really good All-Star game. Devontae Graham. I believe he had somewhat of the weakest showing, except for towards the end. I expected more out of Duncan Robinson, who was my pick.
The bad pick was Trey.
To Trae Young?
Because I picked his punk ass. I mean, he's still a hooper, though. He's a hooper.
I expected Zach LaVine to be better, though. Especially being at home in Chicago, right. I expected Zach LaVine to be so much better than that. Then we come to one of the 2 highlights, I guess you could say, of the All-Star weekend.
Don't say it.
The dunk contest. You had Pat Connaughton, Dwight Howard, Derrick Jones Jr., and Aaron Gordon. That was the 4?
Some cheaters.
So let's just break it down, right?
Some cheaters.
So Dwight, I don't believe Dwight Howard started out with a Superman tribute.
He didn't start out with that.
That wasn't his first one.
He didn't start off with
so
that. He started off, if I'm not mistaken, was it Between the Legs or something like that? Something simple. Everybody started off with something simple besides the Heat player. The bullshit winner. That was hard as done. Hard as done.
Then Dwight did the Superman. Pat Connaughton jumped over Christian Yelich. Did he jump over 2 people? Again, Pat Connaughton really wasn't that impressive to me. I got to go back and watch it.
That's the white boy, right?
Yeah.
Nah, his dunks was good because his
one of them was a touch off the glass, and then he dunked over Giannis.
Yeah.
And then one of them he jumped over the baseball player.
But it wasn't really jump over that really won that really got him those good points. It was the fact that he was an old dude from White Men Can't Jump. The outfit that
Yeah, okay.
That was nice. He had the shoes, he put the shoes on the little desk. Yeah, that was nice. That was smart. White Men Can't Jump. That was nice.
Let's just get to the sauce because he already gave you the winner. I was gonna kind of say the winner.
Cheaters.
Let's just get to the sauce. So
Cheaters.
The last two, it was a dunk off between Derrick Jones Jr.
It shouldn't have been a dunk off. First of all, it shouldn't have been a dunk off. Eric Gordon had all 50s the whole way through, from the beginning until the end when they cheated him at the end. He had all 50s the first 4 dunks. Period. He should have won.
See, they didn't do what they did in pretty much, I think, like the actual basketball games where they added up a combined score to give you what you got at the end. Like, if they did that then, maybe, but here's the thing, right? And I don't know if it was you that said that or if somebody else told me, but they basically said Dwayne Wade had the fixed end to begin with. Like, it was just already like a setup for...
Isaiah Thomas said beginning of the, what was the first thing that happened? The skills challenge was the first challenge of the weekend besides, the All-Star and
the celebrity
thing or whatever. Yeah, the rookie game. But Saturday night is where really shit goes down with the NBA players. And the first thing they did was the skills challenge. And Isaiah Thomas and Chick was talking, and what he said was, the Heat are going to cheat tonight. He told us. And what happened?
Yeah, they both. But yeah, the Heat won the two. Well, not the two big ones. The 3-point contest is the big one. But
The big one is the dunk contest.
Yeah.
The dunk, because the Heat didn't win the 3-point contest.
You know what I'm saying? They won the skills challenge. And yeah. The 3-point contest, you literally had to drop buckets.
I'm sorry I'm not doing good with names today.
No, you're fine.
The Heat player, he did the same
Derrick
dunk
Jones Jr.
3 times.
Who, again, by the way, if we could just recognize this, I picked Derrick Jones Jr. to win.
But he won off some bullshit, though. You can't say he didn't.
He did.
He did the same dunk 3 times.
I'm not going to lie. He did do the same dunk multiple times. But I definitely picked last week Derrick Jones Jr. to win. So,
yeah, our picks were at the end, though. Both of our picks was at the end, and yours won off the bullshit. Dwayne Wade cheated. He gave Gordon a 9 when he know he should have gave him a 10. It was bullshit.
So Gordon
got cheated twice. Twice, man.
So going into the final event, I picked Middleton. Basically, the skills challenge, we both got a 0. The 3-point contest, we both got a 0. I'm going up 1-0 into the All-Star game.
You can't count that bullshit, though.
I can.
You can't count that
I'm
bullshit.
I'm up 1-0 going into the All-Star game.
You got that bullshit.
1-0. I thought it may have been like
bullshit.
1-0. I barely, when I saw it, I was like, yes.
Bullshit.
I'm up 1-0 going back into talking sports.
That
like, I'm
was
1-0.
bullshit. All right, whatever. That was bullshit.
And then the All-Star game. Again, I feel like you had a better time at the All-Star game than I did because I have receipts. So
it was a good game.
Okay.
It was pretty much Live City for the first quarter.
Mm-hmm.
LeBron's team won that. This is how it went. It was structured different than any other All-Star game. It was
one of the talking points.
They start off with 0 points each quarter.
Okay.
But all the points are added up for the fourth quarter. And at the end of the fourth quarter, 24 points dedicated to Kobe is added on to the highest score. Or not added on, but needs to be scored from the highest score, if I said that right.
So basically, you add up all threes. Every quarter from 1 to 3, the score keeps going back over to 0.
Yeah.
You add up all the scores from quarters 1, 2, 3, and whoever has the highest, they added 24 onto that, and then that's
how much you got on.
Yeah, that's what you had to get at the end of the game to win. So at the end of the third quarter, the Bucks was up by like
9.
But they was up by 9 points.
Hold on, because the reason they were doing the starting over from 0 is because at the end, whoever wins, each Team Giannis and LBJ pick a charity to donate to, and whoever wins each quarter donates to gets $100,000 donated to their charity. So that's why they started it over from 0 each quarter to see who will win each quarter. LeBron won the first quarter. Giannis won the second quarter, and they tied the third quarter. So in the fourth quarter, it doubled. So whoever won will end up with $300,000.
Damn.
Added on.
Damn. Well, there you go.
My take, it was a good game. Like I said, first quarter was Lob City. Second quarter, Giannis decided that it's not just an all-star game. He's taking over. That's how they ended up taking the lead in third quarter. LBJ's team, they started to come back. And again, like I said, they tied that quarter. So Giannis ended up with the lead, with a 9-point lead at the beginning of the fourth quarter. LeBron James' squad ended up making a comeback. Fourth quarter is when shit turned up. It was actually a game that were competing. It was so many foul calls. It was a lot. I agree with that, but that's because they were competing and it was an NBA game that wasn't on a blacktop. You know what I'm saying? So of course the refs are everywhere because they banging and going at it the fourth quarter. We haven't seen that in the All-Star game
in a while.
Like a minute. So I loved it. They competed. The crowd was into it, and the charities were courtside or at the ends of one of the ends of the courts, and they were cheering on each squad, and it was great. It was a good atmosphere. It was hard. It was really good. And like I said, them competing is what really made it good. The owners liked it. The coaches liked it, and the players liked it. They want to keep the system the same. I agree. Definitely keep it the same because it was competitive. And we want competitiveness, and that's how you say it.
Competitiveness?
Yes, we want that. And plus, the charities are there. That's what really made it really good because they were cheering on each squad. Like, they were really battling for something in the All-Star game. I have no problem with the MVP. It was Kawhi Leonard. He had 30 points. He scored 8 threes. He was like 8 for 15 or 14, one or the other.
Again, he's giving y'all fire right now. Continue. No, you good. Continue.
Basketball, my shit.
Continue.
Chris Paul, he scored like 7 3-pointers. He was hooping. If it wasn't going to be Kawhi, it was going to be Chris Paul to get the MVP. LeBron, he didn't really do too much. He was hooping though. I think Davis had like 20 points, maybe 23, one of them.
LeBron was 2 for 10 from 3 points.
And I did say before the end of the last episode, before we ended the show, I said LeBron's team's going to hit 23s.
He did.
And I want to say it was 23s, but maybe it was 17. It was in between.
It was close though. It was definitely really close.
But I got to call you out, man.
Why?
What happened?
What happened
to your dudes, man? What happened to James and Westbrook, man? Westbrook didn't score to the end of the fourth quarter, and James didn't score until some round in the fourth quarter.
But we have said on multiple occasions we do not have Rocket slander on Talking Sports.
I was just wondering because I said before. Remember the last episode? I said James is going to go off. He might end up getting 60 on these days.
Honestly, I don't know. Like James he did drop buckets. I saw quite a few shots, but it wasn't a lot of highlights around him. It just wasn't his All-Star game. It just wasn't his game.
And Westbrook, he let me down. He's a former All-Star MVP, and he was terrible.
But that was also when the All-Star game was just having fun and trying to get the highest.
Still, man, you a hooper as it is. You already competitive. You should have, you know what I'm saying?
Should have put up more.
That was my take. I loved it.
As you see, he basically carried the segment. He's Kawhi MVP, spoke on that already. New rules, spoke on that already. Good game overall, spoke on that already. Where we disagree. Let me put this down. The ending of the game. I respect Charity. You know, again, I have the highest admiration for Kobe. Gave the man his flowers while he was here. It's just the ending of the game was so halted and so stilted to me that it just was not a good game. I just felt that it just was not a good game. I just felt that it could have been much, much better. Well, no, I felt the game. Hold on, wait. No, I feel like the game was good. I just feel like the ending could have been better. Just the free throw ending to end the game just kind of threw me off.
That's all. The game has been won off of free throws since NBA.
They have been. I just feel like in the All-Star game, it halted everything. Like it stilted the momentum of everything. But yeah, again, he pretty much took care of the segment. That was just I just felt like the ending could have been better. Like I just felt like the ending of the game was just kind of lackluster.
It's just crazy that you say that when the All-Star game's been really terrible.
They have. I'm not saying the game was bad. I just feel like the ending was lackluster. That's it. I just feel like the ending of the game was lackluster.
NBA games end like that though. Off of free throw. Again,
and just in a regular NBA game, it's a little bit different. But again, like I said, there's just a little bit. As far as the All-Star game, we'll be right back here with you for this young outro. Because like I said, he took care of it. He took care of this segment. So we'll be right back here with you on Talking Sports with Wei
and Croney.
He didn't catch his cue. We'll be right back here with you. So we are here with the outro for Talking Sports with Wei and
Croney.
On today's Doc Eats, the things that we discussed today were Mr. Croney,
the XFL, the All-Star Weekend.
Yes, sir.
It was great. Where should Brady end up for the next season? And do Dwight deserve to be in the Hall of Fame?
Yes. I feel like we hit them with some heat along this broadcast. Like I feel like we was hitting them with some shit. What were your thoughts? Seeing that this is your second ever broadcast, what were your thoughts?
A little more comfortable.
You feel like you got better since the first one?
Just a little more comfortable. I wouldn't say better.
What y'all think? Do y'all think Ronnie got better from the first broadcast to the second one? I really want to know.
Be honest.
Be honest. Let us know. That's how we improve. What y'all, again, criticisms help us improve. That's the same thing like with whenever we report news stories. Facts help us get the news story 100% right.
Yeah, you be having them facts.
I be having to have my facts together. But again, this was another successful broadcast of Talking Sports with Wei and Croney. Once again, I am one of your hosts, Wei
and Croney.
You can find us on Apple Podcasts. You can find us on Google Podcasts. You can find us on Spotify. You can find us now on YouTube. This will be dropping, actually. My plan is this has been recorded on Monday. My plan is to actually drop this later on tonight. So stay tuned for that. So I'm going to be putting out the promotions. Y'all going to see the video afterwards. I don't know why I'm letting y'all know this, but tomorrow, the Waves World podcast will be coming out, and then Wednesday, the Waves World Drunkcast will be coming out, and I'm trying to start a routine of Monday, Talking Sports with Wei and Croney, Tuesday, the Waves World podcast, and then Wednesday, the Waves World Drunkcast. But thank y'all so much for listening. Have yourselves a good day.